Welcome everybody, I am Raetac and this is Stonehearth. It's currently on Steam under Early Access and it is high time that I actually brought this to my channel. I've been playing around with it here and there. I've actually really got a really good understanding how Stonehearth does work in this current alpha. But yeah, it's still bare bones. It's got a fairly decent starting stage. If you're a fan of Dwarf Fortress, if you're a fan of Timber and Stone, if you're perhaps an old subscriber coming back for something a little bit different, this is very much like that. This is I suppose, everybody, I am Raetac, and I'm just hearing myself, oh my god, this is really bad. My apologies, this is what happens when you go and start streaming live, and hello to the studio audience. Right, shall we get into a new game and see what Stonehearth is all about? Let's do it. We get to choose the settlement's location. Now, it gives you pretty much, there are three variables where it gives you your location, whether there's trees and plants around, essential for building in the early stages. Wildlife, also very good for pretty much sustaining your little village and the early stage. And minerals also, I suppose that's more for the later game. Now, I'm actually going to attempt something. I've got a theory about the whole farming aspect of side of things, whether the farms actually do better when they're close to water. I'm not entirely sure. So I'm going to settle next to basically a mountainside here, and which has got a good amount of trees, access to stone, and there's water nearby. So this could be interesting. This is definitely an experiment in this little area here. Okay, now why is my rice button not working? Ah, there we go. The controls are fairly standard for an RTS. Right mouse button to basically scroll around, mouse scroll wheel in and out, obviously, and WASD to basically bump the map around. Okay, so we've got this lake here. I'm going to be making... Oh, there's some nice little berry bushes down there, but I can't access them really earlier on. I don't know what that is. What is that? Could be a bit of a glitch. But I'm hoping that having a nice like cul-de-sac type location here, I shouldn't have too many troubles from enemies, which will happen eventually. But we're going to little town banner here. It's got a really weird rotating function of the well, not the semicolon, the comma and the full stop key. That's the way we rotate. And we shall set up our new settlement right here, Cherry Stida. Okay, right. I love games that let you pause and plan. It's one of the things that I really do like. Okay, now, first things first. It's a really good idea to set out some stockpiles, and we get a traveller approaching. Oh, they're going to give us some food to start off with. How nice of them. Right, let's set out our stockpiles. Stockpiles are essential to the running of a little village. Now, the stockpiles themselves can only go up to a maximum of a 20 square area. Now, I'm actually going to try and get the maximum allotment in right next to the mountain, and with this particular stockpile is only going to have the filters for the following things. We'll basically take all of them off. Wood, stone, minerals, no, we'll leave the minerals alone. All I want there is bare bones resources, things that my crafters will need to make make other things. Once we get into the higher level of crafting stuff, then we'll make like smaller stockpiles so we can get some decent efficiency. Okay, so that is that there. We also need to have a stockpile devoted for food. Considering my farms, I'm thinking about doing it next to this lake here. I'm going to, let me see, harvest, click and drag, and that tree is now selected for harvesting. So let's get into play mode. The pause, the play, and the fast forward is all done by number 1, 2, and 3. So that's how I'm actually doing this without actually basically clicking on the pause and play button. Hotkeys are essential in any game. Right, so that's that done. Let's pause again, and we'll our food zone. Now, this game does have roads, so you can actually plan out what you're going to be doing for your village. Also, the Hearthlings, as they're called, travel faster on roads, so it's in your best interest to think about these things before you start really planning things out. Alright, so that I'd also right click to cancel, very, very handy. Alright, so this zone, I want to leave a good, oh, I don't know, 3 blocks in between this zone and that one. Bring it down a bit, and I want the maximum for food. So we're going to disallow the weapons, the tools, construction, resources, everything. The only thing that's going to go in here is food. So we'll accept that. Now, we've also given a few basic tools to help us get going. Now, let me see. Thinking about this, let's just press play for a start. Let them a little bit. We'll just go to our citizens and we shall promote some people to jobs. Right, we're going to take this person here and we're going to change that person into a trapper. Really nice like graphics. I really do like these ones. Right, we'll approve that. I don't know how well or poor that the personage stats will do. It may come into a play later on in later updates. I'm not entirely sure, but well, there is that. Right, pause the game once again, and we'll set out a zone for our trap. No, hang on. Yes, we do have a trapper. Right. Generally, I put the trapping zones fairly like far away from the main town. You're not going to get much wildlife close in. At least I don't think so anyway. Not entirely sure how that works, but it's what's worked for me. So we'll just do this. Trapping grounds. Trappers will place traps on the trapping ground and periodically check them to see if anything's been caught. So we'll say yes. I have in the past placed more trapping zones down. I don't know whether it's a good or bad thing, but we shall run with that. So our trapper is going to go to this area. They're going to trap animals for their skins and food. So that's, we're getting our food taken care of right now. Right, the other thing is I need to promote someone to be a carpenter. Very, very important. For this, we are going to change Lane's job to a carpenter. All these other promotions to question marks, I don't think they're in the game as yet. So this is pretty much all there is to it at the moment. And yes, the studio audience is asking, yes, it is a bit of an odd time to stream, but it seems to be my time. I seem to be rather regular and clockwork at streaming at this particular time of day. Okay, let me see. Change jobs, carpenter. Approve. Okay, so they're going to change themselves into a carpenter. For right now, not much is happening. So what we'll do, we have to build a carpenter for our work. We have to build a carpenter for our workshop. No. We have to build a workshop for our carpenter. This will be the means in which they will be able to... Is that a 3? I don't know. Oh, it is 2. Fantastic. I still have the ability to put the roads where I want them. Eventually. Right. Harvesting. And greetings to the studio audience turning in. Thank you for joining me for this live recording. Right, so we're going to chop down some more lumber, because we are going to be needing that to build our houses. Now, I know roughly about the requirements for some of the houses that are being put in the game as they are. Now, I will be requiring 5 of these wooden window frames. We craft them. It's a little crafting queue there. Now we need 1 wooden door, and we need 4 mean beds to start off with. And once the carpenters level up, we can actually get access to the wood wall mounted lanterns. The reason why I've ordered those is I want to build basically houses that provide shelter for my hearthlings, so they're happy, productive, and everything else like that. Also, when they do sleep, they don't sleep as long as if they would be sleeping on the ground. Right, is that roughly about where I want that? Actually, thinking about this. With that carpenter there, I'm tempted to put a stockpile somewhere. Well, actually, I could move that into here and have a little workshop area there. In fact, I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to take a hall for 4. No, let me see. Where is it? Shared sleeping quarters. Put that. It looks to be about right. It'll be right along that that 3x3 proposed roadway that I've got, and the roof. It doesn't really matter. We can have a little bit of gardenage. So what we can do here, we can actually select this workbench, tag it to be moved, and we'll move it over there. So once they move that... Oh, one thing I did not do is this house that I have, you can actually change the way the house has been built. You can change the roofs to have a different aesthetic. You can change the material of the house, whether it be made of wood or stone. Considering I only have wood right now, so wood is about where it's going to stay. So we're going to say finish editing and click build. Yes, start the build. Then everybody gets to work. Alright. So has my car up? Usually doesn't take long. Okay, good. I'll take those 2 wood wall mounted lanterns, because I will need them for the build here. And then consider making more tools. Also, I should consider making a stockpile for my goods that I'm making from the carpenter here. How am I going to do this? Already, my plans of efficient building has gone astray. Right, I'm just going to make a very, very small... Actually, can I go 10 by 10? Not quite. Damn. I would like 10 by 10. We'll go 9 by 9. Doesn't matter. Okay, we're going to go with just construction goods to be placed here. So all the Hearthlings will know how to get, well, not how to get, where to get their items from. Actually, I might even just change that to accept a few other things as well. The tools that I'm going to be making, the weapons that potentially we could make too, and I think heavy armor is a little bit later on down the whole line of things. And getting into nighttime. It's not so bad the first few days that you're playing along in Stonehearth, but when you actually get down to a lot longer down the track, you'll get enemies that spawn. I mean, you could choose like sandbox mode where you won't have enemies spawning, but I have not done this. This is a regular map where we will get goblin invaders. I haven't seen anything other but goblins, but I think that the developer is planning to have more or bigger bad people to turn up. And the audience is asking whether the game justifies, well, the euro conversion of the £19. I think they basically have put that price tag on the early access because to get the alpha game, the Kickstarter I think was that price bracket of either £19, I think it's $25 USD or thereabouts. That was the tier in the Kickstarter for people to get access to the alphas. So if you would prefer to wait, I'm sure the price may come down, or you can get into the game and actually start playing now. But they've set that price point, so the people who did participate in the Kickstarter will basically not cheated out of any monies really. But that's pretty much why the price point is set where it is. Is it worth it? Now, I could say yes. If you asked me that question about 6 months ago, I would have said no. Because the alpha now, at this point, is more playable now than it was 6 months ago. So that's my recommendation. At the moment, now, it is more playable and worth the investment. What sort of price point will it come out when it's actually finished? I can't tell you, because that'll be in the future and I don't predict anything much past in the next few hours. Alright, so all the have been made, they're sleeping in them, but I don't think that it actually gives them a complete shelter. It gives them a place to sleep, but it doesn't give them complete shelter. And I think we're just about out of wood. So we're going to clear the area of trees next to the lake. And welcome to more of the studio audience. They're rolling along. Welcome everybody. And oh, look at the poor little guy, he's sleeping on the ground. And people are working over the top of him. So pretty much my main goal is to get 2 of these sleeping halls for 4 people up and running, and also getting a stable income of food. Once that's achieved, we start digging into the mountain and getting all the nice other lovely stuff like ores and stuff, and getting my military upgraded. To get more villagers is to meet certain criteria, namely your village's worth, the amount of food you have, and the morale of your current villagers. So you have to keep those 3 things in mind if you want to increase your village size. They don't have babies, unfortunately. Caravan approaches. What's in the caravan? Hello, very good for trade. 5 juniper logs. Oh yeah, I will take that trade. Thank you very much. A little bit of food right now, considering I don't have my farm set up, is a good thing. Right. So still building this house. I could probably go into fast forward mode for a little bit, since there's not really much happening. Right. So that's where the food's going to be basically hitting. I think what I'm going to do... yeah, I've got a plan. A plan has come to mind. I'm going to harvest these trees out here. Daily update. Here, this is what I was talking about. We have the food, we have the morale, and we don't have the net worth. I don't know what the calculation is for the net worth, unfortunately. The only thing that I can net worth is the amount of houses that are built, the items you have, that sort of thing. That's the only thing I can think of. Although, if I went to, say, the Stonehearth wiki, I could probably find that out. But these are pretty much of my own observations. Alright, so that land has been cleared. Now, I'm thinking that I'm going to be putting a stockpile here, a smaller stockpile, maybe, I don't know, 10 by 10, there, and that is going to have the animal parts put into it, and also the plants. This is definitely forward planning that I'm doing here for my let me see, what is it? There's silken fibers which you turn into, oh, pardon me for knocking the microphone. Yeah, silken fibers you make into cotton, which you make into cloth, which you make into armor. So I'm doing pretty much all of these things because I've played the start of the game several times over, and I know roughly what to preempt for this village of mine. Getting shelters done is one of them. Getting the food taken care of is the other. After that, getting your military up and running. And then after that, I've got no idea. But yeah, the game actually does play very, very smoothly, very, very well. Let me see, options wise. Let's have a look at the options. I do have the VSync turned off. Shadow detail is fairly high. I've got everything else at pretty much maximum. And it streams, well, it actually does stream very well. It runs very well also. So it's very well optimized, especially for a city type game. Alright, so the house has been built. That's fantastic. Right, let's get down to pause mode. Now, we'll go to our carpenter's workbench and we shall make a hoe to start off with. We can't make a weaver spindle as yet. We can't make a mason's hammer and chisel as yet because that requires stone, which we have yet to actually dig out of the ground as yet. So we're going to make a hoe. I'm also going to put another sleeping hall for 4. So everybody in my village has a place to sleep. That's the plan. So build and design another shared sleeping quarters right alongside the next one, leaving a bit of room between them to put a road down the back. Right, so we're happy with that. We'll go build. Not yet. I'd like to edit it slightly. We can change the wood roof to something like a different colour. So not all the houses need to be the same. The walls unfortunately can't change to any different colours. The wood, pretty much all the same. Now, let me see, building tools. Okay, finished editing. That's about all I can do with that one. Alright, let's build this house. Yes, start the building. Okay, and we'll hit the play button, and away they go again. Now, have we quite got to the stage of getting... there we go, there's the hoe. Now we're going to promote one of our citizens, one of our workers, into a farmer. Like so. Alright, away he goes. Getting his hoe. Okay, a simple merchant has arrived with wares to sell. Unfortunately, I don't have much to sell him. I would very much like to buy these upgrade worker outfits if I could possibly do that. But that's not really that possible because I don't have 50 gold's worth of items to trade. Okay, we have now our farmer. We can designate some zones. Now I'm going to attempt, I don't know whether this is a truism or not, but having farmland next to water theoretically should be more fertile ground. 2, 3, that's for the road, and right. The largest crop size you can have is 11 by 11. So that's what we're going to go with. Or maybe not, we'll go with a 10 by 10. Right, I want food, and I also want this silkweed here. So we're going to go silkweed to start off with. Go click yes. And we'll start putting out some more crops. Now you can also have this this other crop type, fallow. Plant no crop and let the soil renew itself. I have yet to see the soil actually renew itself as yet. It seems to be a bit of a random thing where you till the soil and you get a certain, I know, soil quality. I haven't actually seen it improve itself as yet. So I'm going to put carrots here. So crop rotations could be a thing in the future. Let's carrots. We'll go some turnips. Another one. Go some corn. Large farms, I'm not entirely sure whether it's a good or bad thing. I've yet to really establish that fact. Pumpkins. And that's all the basic foods, I think. So that's carrots, the silkweed, turnips, corn, and pumpkins. Yeah, it seems to be a bit of a random thing when it comes to the actual quality of dirt that we're planting in. I can't know how it works. Alright, so that's that. And all we have to do is really now is wait. One thing I haven't done for this particular house is make all the accoutrements to the house itself. The window frames, the doors, everything else that needs to finish off the house, I have yet to actually build them. Also the beds. So craft those beds, craft the lights. Well, 4, we'll go with 4, it doesn't matter. What else am I missing? Oh, yes, a door. Right. And we'll hit some fast forward. And once this gets settled down, we'll start considering some roads. Kind of a case of just waiting through the night. The trapper's going very, very well, bringing in a lot of food, a lot of hides. Hides we could trade out later on, get some gold in, and stuff like that. Okay, well, they're coming along quite nicely. You could almost do with a, that's double speed or fast forward. You could actually go with a faster speed than this. Unfortunately, there isn't one. But it seems to be of a fairly decent clip anyway. So hopefully we'll get this one done. So, any more questions from the studio audience? Is there anything you'd like to know? There is a good question, just pop that right now. The houses, they are all presets, or can you let your creativity run free? The answer to that is yes, you can let your creativity run free. It is a long, I wouldn't say a long process, but you would definitely need some work. Let's go for a demonstration of that while we're waiting. So build and design, you can design your building, you click the floor, you make the floor the size that you want. You click the walls, it'll give you a kind of set height of wall. Let me see, then you can basically place furniture. I think the only furniture you can build, you can place. It doesn't seem to let me place any other furniture that's in there. I can put decoration. It'll only, it seems to be, you can only place things. I can place that there. I can place that one there. No, I'm not sure about the old furniture side of things. Let's go ahead and look at my daily update. There we go. And we get a new settler. So, yes. Yay! Caravan approaches. You'd like to give me 3 baskets of corn for 7 juniper logs. No. No, thank you. So currently my village's worth is actually increasing quite dramatically. Let's go back to that building thing. I can just go here. I think. Finish editing. I can just remove that. Yes, remove the building, and it just disappears. So you can make other houses. They do give you kind of preset wall heights. You could go second story, that sort of thing. But yes, they did have freestanding walls as well, so you could actually do like multi-level, and you could do like any manner of crazy things. I, for one, would like to actually see some more presets. However, I don't know whether you'll be able to create, because just hang on for a second here. This build and design, right? These cottages here, the tiny stone house, I've made them myself as templates, and they've carried through over to my next games. So there should be some way you can create your buildings and export them, the file or what have you, to some site, and other people can access them. I'm pretty sure there is, I wouldn't say talk, but options for modding. Oh, another where's to sale? No, we'll not go that. We'll just drop back down to half speed because we nearly finished this. Yeah, the game is looking to be modded, so the mod options are supposed to be available, and where the game gets taken from once it hits modders' hands, who knows? I mean, mods have made the gameplay of many a game something entirely different. But I think I'd like to thank the studio audience for turning up. This is also pretty much my usual recording session time. I generally only go for about half an hour, so people that would like to watch the video later don't feel like they're obligated to watch an hour or plus type of video. But I will be returning to Stonehearth. If you want to be a part of the studio audience, do hit subscribe and you'll get those notifications of when the live recordings do go out. Oh well, I've been Raetac. Thank you to the studio audience. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.